make plans, make reservations.
I think it's a little tight, Senny. I think a month is a little bit of short notice, but carry on.
Oh, maybe. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, it's a 3-hour trip to DC. I mean, I think you can either make a decision if you're going to go or not.
But, you know, you got kids and babysitting and, you know, all these factors that come into play as well.
Right. Absolutely. Which is why I felt like a month is good enough time. I mean, you have family that you can ask. I just feel like if it's something that you want to do, you'll make it happen. Facts. If it's something that you don't want to do, then you won't take the time
I'll go with that.
to do it.
I'll go with that.
So then I sent out like a feeler text. I said, hey, anybody, what are you going to decide to do? Because it's been about a month and I haven't even like heard from you guys. It was her and her sister.
Okay.
We've all been friends for a long time. So I sent out a feeler text to be like, hey, you know, are we still going? Are you guys going to come? Anything like that? And I was kind of left on red. She then contacted me back like the next day, you know, talking about she was busy and that she doesn't think that she'll be able to go, but, you know, she wants me to come over because, you know, she has something that she wants to do for me and blah, 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 blah.
Okay, pause.
Yes.
Did she tell you this before the trip, the day before the trip, the day of the trip? When did she say that she can't make it?
She wasn't saying anything. She didn't say anything until I texted her. She didn't say anything until I texted her like maybe 2 weeks before the trip because I haven't heard from her. So mind you, like 3 weeks have gone by and she hasn't responded to the invitation that I sent out.
Okay.
So to me, I felt like you weren't going to say anything to me if I wasn't going to say anything to you. You would have just let everything pass and then just be like, oh, like have a good, you know, did you have a good time or whatever?
Happy
birthday. Right. So I just kind of felt, so I think that was the major shift in, I feel like, the demise of our friendship that was already on the decline.
Okay.
And definitely, you know, I definitely understand. And, you know, a lot of people, they have all these memes going around talking about, oh, if I'm distant, you know, I'm going through stuff and, you know, my friends will come back to me and da-da-da-da.
Okay.
And part of me agrees with that, but that also part of me feels like that's just giving people excuse to just be lazy in your connection. Because if you had a man, what if your partner, I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same relationship. Mm-hmm. What if your partner just started being like mad distant? Like not sending you texts throughout the day, talking about, well, I see you at home. Yeah. And not, you know what I mean? Or saying things like, well, you know, people need their personal space and sometimes I just don't, you know, feel like being around you right now. Like I'm in my own thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? You have to continue to make an effort. And if you value that person and da-da-da. Okay. So I think that that's important. And so I want to hear from you all. I definitely want to know, how do you handle friendships that are dying a slow death? Are you the type of person that just cuts it off? You're like, yo, and how do you do that? Like, how do you break up with your friend? What do you say? Or do you not say anything? You just match the energy. If you guys are just not communicating, you just continue to not communicate. Or do you feel like it's necessary to have that conversation to be like, hey girl, hey man, like,
it's over.
You know, I don't want no hard feelings between us, but I feel like this energy and da-da-da-da-da. Have you ever had to do that, Miss Miko? Have you ever had to?
Yes, I have. Mother has lived. And I feel with friendships sometimes the season has ended, you know. A lot of my friends are lifelong friends. I'm talking 40 plus years of friendship.
Right.
And they're my we call each other secret keepers. They're my core friends. And then there's new people that enter into my life or their life. And my older friends, they get kind of jealous. They're like, she's not going to last. We don't like her. And, they're kind of mean. But 9 times out of 10, they're absolutely right. They see things that I don't like. I see things that they don't, but they're new friends.
But have you ever had a core friend? Because I would consider her my core friend. Have you ever had a core friend that you're like...
I grew apart from, and it hurt me.
It did?
Yeah, it was like a death.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And did you guys have a conversation, or you just kind of let it just
We
go
had a
how it is?
conversation, and she brought up some valid points because she moved away, and she's like, I just feel that you don't come see me, and you don't call me like you used to. And I'm like, life is happening. I still love you. We don't have to talk every day for us to be friends. We can go a month without speaking, and when we get up, it's like nothing happened. That's true friendship.
Right.
But she was very needy.
Right.
And that's something I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
Because I was always on pins and needles around her, tippy toe around her. And I would go to her city, and she's like, oh, well, you have to come see me. I'm not driving. So if I took the time out to fly to where you are, why do I have to drive another 45 minutes to come see you? Why can't you take the day off work to come hang out with me? So it was a lot of give and take and pulling and shoving with her. But
right.
yeah, we just kind of let it go.
Yeah, and I've even, done that with friends too. Like sometimes I've had friends that it's been kind of, a little lackadaisical, and I'll like say to her, say to them like, hey, do you feel this? Are you, is it me, or do we need to do something else, or do you need time or stuff like that? And I've had conversations like that, and I've totally had that friend be like, no, I didn't know you were feeling like that. Let's make more of an effort to do things. And it wasn't, and I think too, it's all about how you deliver things too, because, sometimes I feel like when you approach situations like this, it's easy for that person to be like, well, you don't with me either. And it's like, okay, that's why we're addressing it, because
let's have a conversation.
Right.
Yes.
Something is off. You're right.
Yeah.
But let's try to work through it. And, I think that I'm just at a point, and I've had this conversation with her kinds of, like indirectly already. So it's in the process, and I definitely don't, I don't think that there's any hard feelings. I don't think that there'll be any hard feelings, because I generally, I love her, and I know that she loves me too, but I don't know. And like, and she's she's close to my kids. So I think I'm just going to just let it mellow. I'm not going to have any conversations about it. And then just see where it goes from there, because I mean, what else can you do?
Are your children intertwined?
No, not really. I mean, our kids play together sometimes, and we've still been doing like birthday parties and other things like that.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's that. But it feels really sad, because sometimes, I want things to be like how they were. You know what I mean? But I guess that comes with age too, and maturity, and growing up. Some people, things change. So on a Throwback Thursday, if you're thinking about friendships that have long gone, definitely let us know. And how do you, I've had friends too that like move to new cities, and they're like, oh, I miss you. Like, I wish you were here. You should move here. Yeah. I don't even have any friends. I've been here for a couple months. And we were talking about that, about how do you make new friends as an adult? Because I feel like
tough.
For kids,
it's so tough.
For kids, I feel like
people.
We always throw kids into situations. We're always just like, oh my gosh, the birds are eating the eating the worms. I wish I could grab it on. I'm gonna get it one day on video, you guys. They just devoured that worm. Sorry. Oh. I know you can't see it. Can you see it a little bit?
Yeah, I see him right here.
You guys, it's
now,
so cool.
Is that the dad or the mom?
That's the mom. Shawn is lying. I don't think that was the dad. I think that was her friend.
She was coming to check. Hey, girl,
That
what's
was-
going on with you and
Right,
these kids
that's
today,
a
girl?
real friend. She was coming to check on her and these kids. Because these men, I don't think, there's not a lot of male animals that stick around for the raising of the kids. I think penguins, though, do.
Yeah, penguins, they sit on the egg.
Yeah, male penguins, they
yeah.
hold the egg.
They do.
I think until they hatch. So shout out to the penguin dads.
Shout out to penguin daddies. Ow.
But no, so, and I think penguins, they stay together for life when they mate or something like
No,
that.
they don't stay together for life.
They don't?
No.
Oh, okay. False
They
news,
don't.
y'all.
Yeah.
So, how do you make friends as an adult? Because I think a lot of people go through this. You know, sometimes they lose friends, they move to a new place. How do you make a friend?
Or even family. How do you?
'Cause a
when
lot
you
of
break up with family, it's like breaking up with friends as well. You know what I mean?
Breaking up with family.
Sometimes you gotta break up with family because we're blood don't mean we're family. Family, they give it up too.
Tamika, who you cut off
I'm
in your
here
family?
to match the energy. I match family energy.
Well, you know, that is what happened because, you know, y'all all know my beloved cousin Laura. She passed away a couple years ago.
No, I didn't know.
Yes, she did.
R.I.P.
Love my
Laura.
Laura. Yes, love her. She was my best friend. And that, a lot of families, that's their, you know, if you have a lot of cousins or, you know, your parents and their brothers, sisters are close, your family is your friends.
Right.
That was a lot with me. My family were my friends. And my kids are kind of like that too. Like every time we have birthday parties, it's like literally one or two other outsiders, but
Right.
they're like close family friends. We've known them for mad long. And then it's like the cousins. So I kind of like that dynamic because I do, you know, we do like to raise them like your family is your family. They're going to have your back against all these people out here. They're going to hold your secrets. They're going to, you know, so that's the best kind of friend to have.
Right.
But you know, sometimes it can get a little toxic.
A little dicey there.
And you go through things. And I've had that too. I've had periods of time where, because my family, we're real petty, y'all. Like, we will not, that's our thing. And I don't know if it's because the majority of us are women, but we will not talk to each other. We will not. We'll get into this argument or feel some type of way and we will not talk. But then we'll come together for something and then like we'll usually start talking.
You just squash it and that's
or
it.
whatever.
That's
But
real family.
I've been trying to make more of a conscious effort to not do that, to actually like talk about it and be like, what is the real issue without, you know, doing a little Ayanla. You know what I'm saying? I watch too many reality shows and too much therapy stuff for me to be acting like that. You know, and I talk too much for me to be acting like that, but we do, you know, and I don't think that it's healthy. And definitely with the death of Laura, you know, I think my whole family has made a more conscious decision to not do those things. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it is important to tell people, because like I said, when I told my friend, you know, things are getting weird between us, she was like, I didn't even know. So let's fix it. So maybe you can, but breaking up with family is hard because, I don't know, some people's family get violent. They want to put their hands on each other.
Yeah.
And then they see each other at the next family
at the
outing.
cookout, and it's on site. It's on site, cuz. It's on site.
But you know, definitely we hurt those closest to us the most. So I think that's why family beefs are so hard. But definitely, you know, try to mend those relationships and ties. And nobody's saying you have to go back and be best of friends. But then that's what I say too, because even after sometimes you go back, it just ain't the same. It just feel weird. And you just stay distant anyway. So we're going to see. You guys, let us know in the comments, how do you make friends? Have you ever made new friends, Miss Miko?
I have made. You're my new friend, Senny. We
Oh,
were friends last year.
That's true.
So, and
We
I
were
think we have
acquaintances.
good vibes.
Yes.
So
And you know what? We were actually talking about that the other day. It's we talked about a lot, but it is important, I think, when forming any new connection. And I think that's why it's so hard for people. You have to be a little vulnerable, right?
Just a little bit.
You have to, because that's what makes you relatable, right? Because that person sees something in you that's like them.
Right.
Right? So, and that gives you that connection because you're like, oh God, I could rock with this person because they think how I think. But if you guys are just always keeping stuff, if you're the type of person that's always going to keep stuff on the surface level, like the weather's nice today, right? Oh yeah, I just bought this shirt, you know, it's purple. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, girl, bye. or whatever the case is. So I think that is number one if you are trying to make new friends. Definitely be and people hate that word vulnerable. They're like, I'm not telling all my business to people. It's don't tell all your business.
Don't tell all your business, right?
You can still say things without, you know, divulging, you know, too much and make conscious effort to hang out, to create experiences. It's so much like dating, you know, do things together because then you create memories, you have a fun time. It takes you out of like that element. And I always usually say, and even though people say it's you know, don't make friends at work, but if you move to a new place or whatever, the best place you're gonna find friends is usually at work. I've always a lot of my friends that I've met, if I didn't know you from school, I met them at work. So you know, some people, you know, you kind of find your tribe, or you work in the same things, or maybe one day you did a team building event and met somebody from a different department.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's important too, you know, get a little job. And your kids, I've made friends through my kids.
But their mom, I didn't do that when my daughter was younger. I didn't care to be their friend's mom. It's too much.
Well, I mean, even if you don't make a conscious effort. Then when the girls stop
speaking, then it's kind of weird with us. Like, I don't want to do it.
And actually, one mom I met through flag football, and some of y'all know her because she started coming to the shows and stuff. Ellen, what's your last name? Maybe I should have put your last name out there, but her name is Ellen.
Shout out to Ellen.
Yes, and she's so sweet. She's the best. And our sons used to play in flag football, and at practices, we used to, we would go walking. Like sometimes I would walk like during the practices, and then she was like, hey, you wanna? She was like, oh, I'm gonna walk with you, and I was like, okay, girl. And we just started talking, and then she invited me. Then her son's birthday was coming up. She invited me. And we just started kicking it off from there. She started listening to the show. She came to a couple of events to support. And, you know, life got crazy and we haven't talked, but we're definitely Facebook friends. Definitely love her. And I think that, you know, I think that I could call her a friend. So definitely appreciate that. So I think all different. One woman I met, I think too, sometimes you have to be a little open. I'm definitely friendly. When I was...
You are very friendly. You are extremely friendly.
I am. I'm a very friendly person.
You are,
and I used to walk. I was living in my mom's community. And at the time I was pregnant, I was like, I don't know, at the time, I was probably like 6 months pregnant. Because I was determined, Miss Miko, not to gain any weight. With my daughter, I gained 60 pounds because I was eating like whatever. Because I was like, I'm eating for two. And my midwife was like, girl, whoa. Do you want to go into gestational diabetes? She was like, you're eating for one. Just relax. And I was like, oh my God. So that was that. So for my son, I only gained like 25 pounds. I did like the regular. And, you know, I made a conscious effort to walk, and I was just eating normally, right? So I decided when I started going on my walks, right? One day, this lady stopped me, and she was like, excuse me. And she was like, I noticed that you walk all the time. And I just, you know, I live over here, and I'm trying to get back into like working out, doing that stuff. And I want to know, like, would you mind if I walked with you? And I was
what
like,
did you say?
I was like, okay.
Oh my God. I'd be like, girl, I want to walk by myself and get in tune with my thoughts. I don't want to walk with you. I don't want to talk and walk with you.
So I was like, sure. And she was like, I know this sounds weird.
So that became your friend, Senny?
Yeah, shout out to
my
Amanda.
God. Hey, Amanda, girl.
She was like, I know this sounds weird, but you know, I always see you walking and it like motivates me, and I don't know, like maybe we could walk together, blah, blah, blah. So boom, right? We start walking together. I meet her the next day. I'm like, all right, girl, well, let's do this.
Not the next day. She was serious.
She was serious.
Okay.
We were walking. I think we walked like a few times a week, but she had like a job. So she was like kind of busy sometimes, but she got with it, right? Mm-hmm. So, excuse me, as we're walking one day, she's telling me.
Princess said you up here picking up strays.
As we're walking, she starts telling me about how she's been trying to have a baby.
And you're pregnant? You're walking? Amanda, I'm side-eyeing you, Amanda. Carry on with the story. I'm here for it.
She starts telling me how she's been wanting to have a baby, and her and her husband, shout out to Oscar, have been trying, and, it's not been working, and, so it kind of got her discouraged a little bit, but she was like, I'm powering through and it's okay. And I'm so happy for you. And she bought me and she started buying me like little stuff for the baby. Right. So I was talking to my children's father, we were together at the time, and I was like, babe, I just wish Amanda could have a baby and like saying all this stuff. And then he was like, and I was telling him, and he was like, yo, stop walking with her
immediately.
And I was like, what? He was like, you don't think she's gonna try and take your baby? And I was like, no. Why would she do that? That's ridiculous.
The entire chat room was thinking that with this story. Everybody, we sit on the edge of our seats like, get to it, Senny.
It was so crazy. But no, she never.
She didn't bop you over the head and pull you over the trail.
She didn't do anything like that. She was so excited. And shout out to her. She has a beautiful son now. He's like, I think he's like 4 or 5. He's like 5. So shout out to her. Her dream did come true. But yeah, so that's funny. She lives in Florida now. She done moved. She has a great life. So yeah, friends, they come. I wish I could meet men. It's great.
The way you
but
meet
you know
friends?
what? I do meet a lot of men. I meet a lot of men that are like, okay, I'm not, how some girls are like, I'm a guy's girl. Like, I have mad male friends. I don't like to be friends with women.
I'm the homie.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Is somebody calling? Oh, hold on a second. I was like, who's calling me? But I forgot I put the number. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. Let me see. Good morning. Oh, hold on. Hold on a second. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Who is this?
Shawn Brown.
Oh, hey, Mr. Brown. What's going on?
Hey, Shawn Brown.
Hey, you know my voice? What the hell?
No, I was only like half listening and you weren't on speaker. What's going on?
Nothing's going on. I like I like what's going on. Friends.
Big
word.
How many of us have them?
Friends. Yeah, what do you want to say on that, Mr. Brown? I know you've been through this. Speak on it, bro.
You have what you call job friends. You have neighborhood friends.
Preach.
And then you have those real friends.
Facts.
Those real friends that when you leave a job or you leave a neighborhood, you still stay in touch with them.
Yep.
Right.
I agree.
And then I don't call everybody my friend. I call them associates, just to be real.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because a true friend, you can have an argument with them on Wednesday. A first long out argument with them, and the next day or Thursday, let's go out to eat.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And that's a real friend. Then you have the real friend that want to tell you, like, if you do something messed up, and you tell them, and you're expecting them to say, yeah, and they tell you, no, Brian, you was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's your friend. That's your friend. It's funny. I have 2 male friends.
Mm-hmm.
And all my other friends is females.
Do you find you get along better with females in your friendships than you do with men?
Yeah, because I could tell a female, you could tell them almost anything. And as for advice, mostly they give you great advice.
Yeah.
How can a male give you advice on a female?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
That's true. Yeah.
he really can't give you no. He really can't give you no advice. He's just gonna say, yo, dog, just do this. No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
I see your point with that.
And then I go another level. I hate to say it, but male friends get you in trouble.
yeah, that's true. You mean as
They
far
get you
as
in trouble.
like? Go ahead.
I'm gonna go this way. Back when I was officially when I was married, and one of my boys was married, and we used to go out. And then I remember my wife said, "You got all female friends. Why don't you have some male friends?" I said, "You really want me to hang out with males?" Yeah, you hang out. I said, "Okay." One of my God rest his soul, me and him was hanging out, and he saw a chick, and she had a friend. So what did he do?
Hooked you up with his friend.
He tried to pull me in, so he, use him to, get with the other girl.
And you did it?
No.
Okay. Good job. Because I'm like, what is going on over there?
Don't pull me to your spider. No, don't pull me to your spider. And then what he would do was he would call me up, yo, Brown, man, let's go hang out. No, he would tell his wife, I'm gonna hang out with Brown. Then he would call me up and say, yo, I'm with you tonight.
So he's pulling you in his web. That's a bit much. Yeah, don't pull me in your web of lies.
Yeah.
Toxicity.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Mr. Brown. So, well, what do you do? Have you ever had to cut off a relationship? Like the relationship was dying and it was one of your like close friends or something. Did you have a conversation about it or did you just kind of let it go?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm a Gemini, right?
Right.
I cut my mother off for 2 years.
Oh.
I cut my brother and my sister off for 2 years.
Oh.
My mother went at my daughter, my youngest daughter, and I'm sorry, once you have kids, they become number one. I love my mother to death, but they become number one. I mean, my daughter just called my mother last month, and she haven't spoken to my mother for 8 years.
Oh my gosh.
My mother called me up crying. Your daughter called. I said, what's going on? I said, Toya, my oldest one. She said, no, Shavon. I said, Shavon called you? I said, well, that was big of her.
8 years?
And if a friend,
Mr. Brown's family's like mine.
If a friend to me is toxic, I gotta let him go.
I agree. And family.
And family.
Cut off the
I
toxic
gotta let them go.
family
And
members.
it was, I would start by not calling them as much. And then when they call me, I give them short conversation. And as time go on, it just trip off. One of my directors, right? Me and him was like Batman and Robin. And his contract finished, so he moved on to another job. And I said to him, oh man, we're gonna stay in touch, we're gonna talk. He said no. He said what's gonna happen is that we'll talk maybe once every other week, and then it would go to once every 6 months, then maybe once a year, then we'll never talk again. And guess what? He was right. That's not woman.
Oh, no.
Never spoke to him again.
Oh, well, are you guys?
And this is a man. This is a man that I got my ears pierced because we used to hang out like that. He was the godfather of my youngest daughter.
Oh, wow. Well, are you guys at least Facebook friends?
Nothing. He vanished off the planet.
Get out of here. Well, Mr. Brown, you have to find him.
Yeah.
I tried. We can't find him. I don't know if he's alive or dead.
I'm like, is he alive, Mr. Brown?
That's
Did
how
you check your bits?
Like Batman and Robin.
Oh, wow. I kind of want you to find this man.
Yep. Jason Pacilia, Italian guy.
Okay, chat room friends and family.
Okay,
Fan out. Let's find Jason. Fan out, everyone.
Jason Pacilia.
Jason Pacilia. If you are out there, if anybody knows him, what area was this in? He's from New York?
Yeah, he lived in Brooklyn. He was one time, he was my supervisor, and we had a brought out argument over something that I did in the job. I mean, he took me in the office, told me off, cursed me out, and everything. And then after he finished, he said to me, "Okay, let's go out to lunch." I looked at him, and he said, "Don't get work confused with our friendship."
Right.
That's right.
And I'm like, wow. You know, that was deep.
Mr. Brown,
You know,
can you
business is
spell
business
Jason's
and
last name?
Friendship is friendship. Sometimes you can't mix business with friendship because people don't know how to do it.
How to separate them, I agree.
Right. No, that's true. Mr. Brown, do you know how to spell his last name?
Shoot, offhand. You know how long it's been?
I'm sure that's a popular Spanish name. I'm sure. P-A-S.
It sounds like an Italian name.
Yeah, he was Italian.
It sounds
He was Italian.
Yeah.
Probably
yeah,
P-A-S-C-I-L-I. How many Pasillis are out there? We're going to find them for you, Mr. Brown, because I think this is a friendship. You guys at least deserve a drink together.
Look at the Wake Up Team
I
reuniting
tell you,
friends.
I have 4 holes in my earrings. We used to go to King's Plaza in Brooklyn on Saturday.
Not
and
4.
And get your ears pierced? That was like a thing y'all did?
He's the one that got convinced me. He did it. But it's got ears pierced. I'm like, what? And I did it. Yeah.
Wow,
back in the days, he used to drive a 1987 Cadillac Alante, and I'd come to his house, put the car, and just go. Yeah, that's how cool he was.
Oh,
that's how cool he was.
Well, he's
and to me that was a friendship. But like I said, sometimes people come into your life for a certain reason, for a certain time, and then they go.
Right.
You know, I got friends that came in my life, and one particular lady, Sharon Jordan, had she not been in my life, I would not be living where I'm living right now.
Oh, wow.
I would not have my credit score. I would not have nothing, because when I met this lady,
Sharon, I'm going to level you up.
I had no bank. I was 32 years old. I had no bank account, no money in the bank. I was living check to check, and I was just spending money like whatever I get.
Right.
But this lady taught me. She was 8 years older than me. I still talk to her. She taught me how to get a bank account the right way. She taught me how to get a credit card.
Wow.
She taught me how to shop. When she finished with me, my credit was 721.
When she finished with you.
Right. Oh, shout out to Sharon.
Yes, Miss Brown.
I did the best thing. She said, and set a goal. My goal was to walk into a dealership and buy a car. I walked in the dealership, bought me I bought me a convertible Ford Mustang, my dream car.
In what year, Mr. Brown?
Whoa.
Yep. Back in 2003.
Nice.
Whoa.
Convertible Mustang.
Shout out to Sharon for leveling Mr. Brown up. Okay, Sharon.
and then I was able. Then I said, this is when it gets crazy. This is my friend now. This is when I said, you know what? She lived in Bed-Stuy, right? Mm-hmm. In the hood. And I'm like, you know what? I want to buy a house. Why do you want to buy a house? Blah, 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 blah. I said, well, it's time to move on. And what I did, my credit score was great. I went and had me a house built and moved to Pennsylvania. But if it wasn't for her in that part of my life, it wouldn't have happened.
Nice.
Right.
You know, sometimes friends come into your life for a certain reason. You just got to see that reason. And if they move on, that was the reason they was there for.
Right. Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Brown. We can appreciate that.
And Sharon, show your face.
Yeah, Sharon.
We want to meet you, Sharon.
Yeah, I know. I listen. I call her every November 19th. I'm good with birthdays. November 19th is her birthday. Her mother's birthday is June 18th. I call her mother every year for her birthday.
Oh, wow.
You know.
Well, that's nice, Mr. Brown.
So I still talk to that family, because that family, boy, they changed my life.
Yeah, and see, those are good. You know, you got to keep in touch and keep those relationships strong. So we appreciate you, Mr. Brown. Thank you for calling, and we are finding Jason Pasilli for you.
Yes.
We are on it.
We're on the case, Mr. Brown.
Good job for that one.
Okay.
I even went to Brooklyn one time. I went to the house, but he don't live there no more.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brown.
I love your show, Senny.
Oh, thanks. We love you too.
Mr. Brown.
Thanks for listening.
How old is Jason Pasilli? Approximately. Mr. Brown, can you hear? He done hung up. Mr. Brown. How old is Jason Pasilli? We're trying to find this man for you, Mr. Brown. Put his age.
Is he old? Because
Yeah.
if he's older, I mean, there's a lot of
But we're going to try, because Tricky Lewis is on the case. Tricky Lewis asking a bunch of questions.
Shout out to $20 Tricky. He know everybody.
Yes, Tricky Lewis is on the case.
I'm glad Tricky's in. And he does bring up a good point when, listen, my work friends, and it's so sad. Do I have any work friends that I'm still friends with? Yeah, one of them. But listen, and I used to work at a sales office, y'all. So it was like those friends, and it's so funny because like he said, he went with Jason to go get his ear pierced. Yeah. We always used to like go out and always just do stuff letting like steam off from work.
Right.
And when you look back, those were like the fun times. Like, especially like, you know, when I was younger, I used to come in hungover and like trying to work. And those would be like
I remember those days.
Right? But those coworkers are what got you through. Okay? When we had this desk, I hated this desk because there was 4 of us, right? That including me.
It was like a quad?
It was like
a quad?
No, it was a round circular desk.
At work?
We worked at a sales office for timeshares.
Okay.
So usually it would only be like 2 or 3 of us on. If there was 4 of us on, it was like a busy day. Okay. But you know, it's behind this little thing. So, you know, you get close. But there was one lady that was just horrendous. Okay. Like she was the one who's always going to tell on you.
There's always one.
Yes, I can't. And I wish I could say her name, but I
Don't
can't.
do it, Senny. Don't do it.
Because I used to curse this woman.
Don't do it, Senny.
I used to like.
We'll call her Karen.
Any day, yes,
Karen.
Any day that I would look at the schedule, and I knew I would be on with this woman. I just knew it was gonna be a long ass day, right? So, but we used to be at this desk, so sometimes, you know, like after a night out or whatever, we would, if I was working with the other 2 girls, shout out to my girls, we used to take shifts like sleeping in we had a little back room. Classic.
That's a good work friend.
Yes, and we would be so happy. We'd be like, girl, if you can we called them waves, and that was like tour times. So we had like 3 tour times. People would come in at 9, and it was an hour-long presentation. Then you had people coming in at 11:30, and then people coming in at 1. So I'd be like, girl, if you could just handle me until 1.
Pause on handle me.
Cover me till 1, and I'll get the rest of the waves for the rest of the day. You can do whatever. They'll be like, all right. So those work relationships, I think, are sometimes are the best. You have good times, but then it's also kind of sad. Like he said, when they end, it's kind of hard to keep them going. But it almost seems like, and I had somebody that I used to work with where they actually quit. It was like a week. I was like, yo, a person after my own heart. Because they were like, I'm done with this. But we still kept in touch after. And so I used to tell her the drama and stuff like that. So, and that is the one that I'm still friends with today.
Oh, wow.
From the job. And I trained her. But it was like the day before she was about to leave. She was like, girl, I'm just going to let you know this is not going to work for me. She's like, but you're a good trainer, though. It's not you. And I was like, I know. But she was actually quitting because of homegirl, the Karen.
Because of Karen.
She was like, yo, why is she always on my back?
Because that's what Karens do.
I was like, girl, she's going to stay on your back. She's still on my back. And I've been here for a year and some change.
Is she still at that job? You think she's still there?
No. Check this out. I was at this job. This is actually one of the longest jobs I've had because I really liked it.
A whole year.
No.
Longest job.
Well, yeah. Like, I was there for like 3 years. Yeah. Because please, girl, I don't be giving these people none of my time. So, and the job before that was actually the longest job that I had. I worked there for like 6 years, and it was at the rec center. Anyways, so I go to, I was like, I'm leaving here. I was like, because I had asked to basically do something else in another department that I could do, and my boss denied me, and I was like, screw y'all, I'm done with this. So I found another job. I put in my resignation because I was like, you know what, and I hate working with Karen anyway. Like, I'm over this, right? So I put in my resignation, I guess. Girl, why like 2 weeks later, my one friend, that even though my coworker that I was still keeping with at that job, she was like, yo, homegirl is moving to Alaska. She put in her 2 weeks.
Oh my, I'd be like, I want it back. I take it back. I take it back.
I was like, she would. I was like, she would. And I didn't tell anybody that I was leaving. So it was kind of like a shock. I was like, see, that is how much she despised me because I feel like she knew I was on my way out. She was like, I got something for you. She left to go be with her daughter. because her daughter was living in Alaska. And I'm like, and of course she's gonna go so far away that there is no chance of her coming back. So yeah, you guys, that threw me for a loop. But whatever, I was, I went on with my journey with whatever. I was happy with the other job that I had got. So yeah, so definitely y'all put it in the chat room. If your friendship is dying a slow death, what do you do? Call in and let us know how you make new friends. And if you know Jason Pasilli, Brooklyn, New York,
please tell Jason Mr. Brown misses him. He misses his friendship.
Right.
Let's find Jason Pasilli.
Please reach out to us. You can contact Mr. Shawn Brown. Mr. Brown, what's the name of your entertainment company? Go look him up. Bad Brown. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Bad Brown Entertainment. Go look him up on Facebook and DM him with any clues you might have, or if you need any other identifying information. I like those. I like to reunite people. I actually got reunited. Speaking of friends, I think I told you guys about him. I reunited. Excuse me, when I used to live in New York, in the Bronx. Okay, shout out to 198th and Bainbridge. Okay, and I had a friend, and his name is shout out to David, and me and my sister always used to hang out with him. Like we were he was the friend that we were outside till the porch lights came on. He's actually the one my dad I guess kind of saved his life. I don't know how severe it was, but he jumped over a fence, and the twist top of the fence, it caught him under his neck and ripped his neck open. My dad had to rush him to the hospital. So we were playing outside.
Dad's a hero.
Yeah, he was. And so he rushed him to the hospital, but that friend, we were always, good friends, but we moved up here to PA, and he actually came up here one time. Like our parents were good friends too. And they let us bring him up here a couple of weekends because my parents owned a building in New York too. So they still went down all the time. So he came up a couple times, but we were little, I was like 10, 11 when I moved up here. So
when's the last time
we lost touch? I still haven't seen him yet to this day, but we found each other on Facebook.
I was going to say, let's find David.
No, yeah. He actually found me on Facebook, and you know me, I never check my messengers. So he had actually written me like
a letter.
When I had find it, he had contacted me. He was like, Seneca, it's me, David, remember, from the Bronx? But that message that he had sent me, it was because we weren't friends, it goes in another folder.
Yeah.
So it had been like a year and a half when I finally saw the message.
Oh, no.
And I was like, David. So I messaged him back, and he responded. And I was like, oh, my God. I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't check my messages.
Nice.
And we became friends. And I think he's like he still lives in New York, but I thought he went on like a cross country trip, but he might be back in New York now. So I do have to make a conscious effort to go and meet up with him. He said he wants to meet up, and that'll be cool. And
I think you should.
Shout out to David. He's kind of cute too. So, but yeah. So you guys, friendships. It just really hit for me today because I think I have a friendship that's dying, but I think it'll be okay. And I've gained so many new friends, especially all of you guys here in the chat room. Yes, I miss Miko. So I just, it's coming into a new season. So if there's anybody out there who's going through that, I think if you want to communicate, you can. But if you don't, I think it's fine. But just try to find healthy ways to get over it, because it really is sad when one comes to an end, but you can always find more. Be social, get out there, and be a little vulnerable, and you'll be able to find new friends as an adult too. It's easy. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to place you guys on a brief hold, and when we come back, we are going to get into it for ya. So just hold on with us one
We'll be back.
second. If you have not shared the show yet, please do. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Share it while we're on the break. Hold on one second.
It's okay, it's alright. I got something you won't like. We gon' set your day on fire. Get your morning started right.
DJ Younganut. If he ain't playing, I ain't staying.
It's Shawn Harvey featuring Senny J along with our co-host Barbi Cologne on Comedy World Net Radio.
Hey guys, it's Barbi Cologne from the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team on Comedy World Net Radio.
This is Senny J from the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team. Catch us on Comedy World Net Radio.
Hello, we are back 5 minutes after the hour of 8. We are here, Shawn Harvey Morning Show, featuring the Wake Up Team. Figuring. You got me, Senny J, and Miss Miko here on the Shawn Harvey Morning Show Takeover. Sean is out for the day. Who knows where he is, but supposedly he's handling some business, so we're just going to leave it at that. He should be back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be here tomorrow. I might not be. We'll see how it works out logistically. Tomorrow is my daughter's birthday.
Shout out to your daughter.
Yes, just shout out to Luz. If I'm not here, she's going to be 14 years old, y'all.
Luz.
I got a teenager for real. That like little attitude and all these little... I want nails and I want, like, I don't know, like, when did you let your daughter start doing all that stuff? Like, because for me, I felt like I wasn't doing all of that at 14. She wants to wear, like, big earrings. She wants to, oh, you guys, I want to see if I can try and get this on my phone. She wants to wear big earrings. She wants to wear, like, nails. And, you know, she hangs out a lot with her cousin, who's 16.
Oh, she's hanging out with the older girls.
Yeah, like, you know, but her cousin, she's not like, she doesn't like act like really old. Like, she's sweet. Like, they just do innocent little stuff. You guys, I'm trying to get this bird. But, you know, she wants to act like she's grown. And I'm just like, it's too old for that. I was like, when you're 16, you can do all that stuff. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments when you guys started doing all that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go into some, speaking of my daughter, she just contacted me.
She said, Mom, why are you talking about me?
She's actually supposed to be in school. What's going on? 1 second, you guys.
We're going to get into some entertainment news, you guys. A lot has happened in entertainment yesterday.
Yes. And, sorry, you guys, hold on 1 second.
And I'll be bringing you Miss Miko's tips. I have some great tips for you. We're going to talk a lot about sleeping because you can tell I'm a little tired today.
Yes, she has tips for you.
So I have some tips for you on sleeping.
Yes, and I can't wait for those because I have something to say about that too. 1 moment. So the first story that I'm going to bring to you is about Nick Cannon. He seems to be making some headway in the news. You know, everything that Nick does right now, it's a hot topic. But this is actually something good, I kind of think. He's in the news because he's seen vacationing with his pregnant I don't know if they're dating. See, that's what makes this so weird is that all of these women that he's been having babies with, like, are they in relationships? Or is this just some type of, I'm going to give you a baby, you're getting a baby, you have
That's
twins.
exactly what it is.
Okay. Well, they're vacationing, and he gifts his twins' mother, Abby De La Rosa, a new Range Rover. Nick.
Yes, Nick, one time. Okay, and it's not even Mother's Day.
You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Yesterday, Brie TSC shared photos featuring Nick, herself, and her bear baby bump on a little pre-baby getaway. Hours later, Abby De La Rosa, the mother of his twins, Zion and Zillion, shared a close-up image of a new Range Rover Nick gifted her. Meanwhile, Nick has remained silent about his baby moon adventure and luxury delivery on his social media profiles. So these are just these baby mamas showing off this stuff. Brie TSE took to the gram with some beachside flicks of her and Nick dressed in a bright orange bikini top and matching
amazing,
skirt.
by the way. Amazing.
Nick also displayed his pearly whites as he matched Brie's fly with an orange bucket hat and multicolored beachwear set. It's unclear, like I said, whether Nick and Brie are in an official romantic relationship, but it's not the first time the 30-year-old has shared photos of an intimate moment between them. In April, she posted what seemed to be spicy maternity photos, you know, with her leg raised to Nick's waist, with his head buried in her neck. So a lot of stuff going on. Now, just hours after Brie posted her stroll on the shores, Abby De La Rosa shared what she called the sweetest gesture involving Nick. They share twins. She took to her Insta to thank Nick for looking out for her with a new car, a matte black Range Rover. To be exact. It looks really nice.
I'm here for
Abby
it.
only shared a partial look of the truck's hood, but her excitement shone through in the emojis in her post. She recently posted footage of the parents experiencing their son's first steps together at a playground. Nick was walking with the baby and assisted him in walking. So that's really cute. It seems like, Nick, you're doing things that need to be done to keep all these women happy. I don't know if the other baby mamas got these presents and things, but I'm sure they got things too that keep them happy. So, and maybe it's kind of weird, Abby, that you've shown your car when they're on their trip. Are you trying to, or did Nick plan that? Like, oh, while we're away, you gonna get your car?
Nick said, her flight leaves at 8. Your flight lands at 9. My game just rewind. Nick is doing what he do, baby. He said, I'm a good-looking man with money, and I'm going to keep them happy.
Not to me go with the rhymes.
I'm quoting Biggie.
Okay.
Nick said,
Well,
I'm going to let it do what it do.
It does make sense. You guys need to see these pictures because Nick is looking hot, too. They both looking hot.
Yeah, Nick looking like a man.
Yeah.
He got his man face.
Now I know why they having babies with him. Shout out to you, Nick. Whatever. Keep doing what you're doing. Now, WNBA star Britney Griners' wife, she is coming out and speaking out right now. Hold on one second. My story just went away from me. She's speaking out because, again, nothing's going on with Britney. And she was calling out people. Bear with me one second. She breaks her silence on Britney's detainment in Russia. At this point, she says she doesn't even know who she's getting back. Sherelle Griner is breaking her silence on Britney's nearly 100-day detention in Russia and the fight to bring her home. During a recent interview with Good Morning America, Sherelle revealed that her wife initially broke the news about the detainment via text. She said, I first heard the news through Britney, actually. She started texting me around 2 a.m. saying, babe, wake up. They have me in this room. I don't know what's going on. So I instantly texted back, who are they? What room? And she's like, the customs people. They just grabbed me as I was going through and they have me in this room. She then sent me a message and said, they're about to take my phone. Don't text anymore. So I'm like, just call me when you can. And that was it. She says, we're 96 days later, and she still hasn't called. And if you haven't heard the story, February 17th, Britney Griner, 31, was detained at a Moscow airport after Russian authorities claimed they found vape cartridges while searching her luggage. Reportedly, the cartridges contained oil derived from cannabis, which could carry a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. On March 17th, news broke that a Moscow court ruled to extend Britney's arrest until May 19th. However, on May 13th, Griners' lawyer announced that his client's pretrial detention in Russia was extended for another month. Prior to that announcement on May 3rd, news broke that the U.S. government had determined that Griner was wrongfully detained by the Russian government. She said during her interview that they've been communicating sporadically through letters. She said, Britney wrote me a letter and was like, babe, I know you want to go down right now, but like, don't just yet. I won't go down until she's back. Every single day matters for me to be sound, for me to be alert, for me to be attentive, and to make sure that she comes back. She said, I just keep hearing that, Biden has the power. She's a political pawn. So if you're holding her because they want you to do something, then I want you to do it. I don't know if I feel that she's top priority. I was grateful for the call from Senator Blinken, but you say she's top priority. I want to see it. And I feel like to see it would be me seeing Britney on U.S. soil. And she said, basically at this point when she comes back, I don't know who I want to get back at. And I think that this story is also disheartening because while, now this war has been going on with Ukraine and Russia and all these tensions for about, I think, a little over 3 months. And I remember doing a story about how they are saying that they said that they don't want media talking about it. They don't want anybody saying anything about Britney because they don't want to make it seem like she's that important to be used as a political pawn.
Like a prisoner of war.
Right. Which...
So just get her out of there.
To me, I don't know how real that is because now it's like, okay, so now you don't have nobody talking about her and it's been all these days and y'all ain't even doing anything. And I know that they just released that there was a U.S. Marine that has been held in Russia for it was 6 months or something crazy like that, a year, or something like that. And he was going on a hunger strike and there was all this stuff. And he recently got sent home. So I just figured it was going to be... But Britney Griner hasn't even been to court yet for this thing. They keep pushing it back. So it's very disheartening. I can definitely see where Britney's wife is coming from. Y'all know when us black women get our minds set to something. And I think she just recently graduated law school, which was really heartbreaking because Britney wasn't even there to celebrate it with her. So I know it was definitely bittersweet, but that lady is on a mission. And I think that more media should be talking about this and, the government needs to do its job and bring her home. And I think her team needs to say stuff too. Like everybody needs to get involved at this point because now they're playing games. So, my heart goes out to her. Free Britney. This is ridiculous over some vape pens. This is crazy. If any of you have watched Martin or like Martin, they are apparently doing a reunion.
Yes, and Tommy's not going to be there.
Yes, he's the
only one that's not going to be there.
That's so sad. The reunion is taking place on, I'm sorry, I sped past the article. The Martin reunion special will be premiering next month on BET Plus. The special reunites the cast of the 1990s sitcom. It will debut on June 16th on the BET streaming service. According to BET Plus, the 90-minute reunion special brings back the original cast members, Martin Lawrence, Tisha Campbell, Tashina Arnold, and Carl Anthony Payne II, to reminisce about the series and the impact it had on the culture. Of course, just like Miss Miko said, sadly, Thomas Michael Ford, who played Tommy, Martin's best friend, died in 2016 from a ruptured abdominal aneurysm at the age of 52. So that's so sad. The cast will look back on the show's most hilarious moments, revisit the iconic characters Martin made famous, and pay an emotional tribute to the late, great Tommy Ford. It's set to take place in the Martin living room set and is hosted by comedian Atheon Crockett. So that should be
sounds
really
like a good time. I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, I don't really want to see them talk about it. I want to see like an episode.
Yeah, Martin still makes me smile. Like I still laugh at Martin to this day.
Right. Yeah. That's one of those shows that you put on like in the background. I have my ones that I fall asleep to. It's either A Different World, Living Single, Martin, The Golden Girls has been in heavy rotation as of late. So those are like what I like to call like my background
TV.
Noise. Yes,
Before reality TV, that's what we watch.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I love reality TV.
Me
I soak
too.
it up, but it's something about those old sitcoms. They don't have any
They don't
sitcoms
have any
anymore.
sitcoms really.
Or they do that like pre-laugh track or whatever that you know is fake. So shout out to the old shows. But yeah, this should be good. But I want to see like an episode. Can y'all get together and do an episode?
Just a quick episode.
Thanks. We appreciate it. This story actually kind of made me think of things in a different perspective. Definitely, you know, the news has been inundating us with this shooting and everything like that. Abbott Elementary. Have you ever watched that show? It's with Quinta Brunson. It's on Hulu if you guys haven't seen it. And it's a comedy about an inner city school in Philadelphia, and you know the different things that they go through. It's very, very funny, very good show. However, the creator Quinta Brunson, she is trending after she shares people are requesting a school shooting episode. Quinta took to Twitter. Yes, she took to Twitter and expressed that she received multiple requests to air an episode on Abbott Elementary depicting a school shooting taking place on the show. She tweeted, "Why it's wild how many people have asked for a school shooting episode of the show I write. People are that deeply removed from demanding more from the politicians they've elected and are instead demanding entertainment. I can't ask, are y'all okay anymore? Because the answer is no." She continued to tweet and ask for people to reach out to their politicians instead. "Please use this energy to ask your elected official to get on Beto time and nothing less. I'm begging you." She also made it clear that she was sad behind the request. In another tweet, she said, "I don't want to sound mean, but I want people to understand the flaw in asking for something like this. We're not okay. This country is rotting our brains out, and I'm sad about it." The 32-year-old shared a picture of a message that she had received in the tweet. She said, "This is Exhibit A, one of many." And it's a message where somebody said, "This is just an idea for the eventual series finale, a school shooting episode to highlight the numerous ones in this nation. Formulate an angle that would get our government to understand why laws need to pass. I think Abbott Elementary can affect change. I love the show." So, you know, she posted that, and as somebody who watches that show, you know, or no, I think that comes from a person, because I think a lot of people, when we look at entertainment, it kind of gives a voice to what we're feeling, and it can be broadcast on a mass scale. And I think a lot of us grew up with shows that tackled tough issues. You know, we grew up with, you know, people doing episodes on AIDS, you know, shows, you know, did episodes on racial discrimination. We've seen episodes of drugs, you know, what drug use does to you. I remember that, it's like that famous episode. If y'all ever watched Save the Bell, but remember when Jessie, she was like doing drugs like Xanax, or no, not like a upper, some caffeine pill to like keep her up while she was studying. And, you know, there's that episode in Will Smith where they did that episode on drugs. So there's a lot of times people, I think that's the mindset that they're coming from. But it also, I think, as to speak to what she's saying, is it is also showing how desensitized we are from it and how helpless it seems, because these things are continue to happen, and it seems like nobody is doing anything. But
doing what? That's the thing. What can you do?
There's plenty of things that this government can put into place they have bills on the table for longer background checks or waiting periods or just limiting the restriction of certain weapons. I mean, at the end of the day, if we can be matter of fact on who can have babies or not, we can be matter of fact on who has access to guns or not.
I agree with that.
And there are things that they can put in place they don't want to because it's too much money involved. And they don't care. They don't care. These people, you elect them and, you know, everybody wants to say vote, vote, vote. And when these people get into these positions, they're not holding up their end of the bargain. And, you know, at this point, I think people are really grasping at straws to figure out something to do. And I do feel, and with everybody hurting, I do know that this must be hard for Quinta Brunson, who is doing a show about kids, who is doing a show about kids in the school system. Hold on, I'm going to call this person back if I miss some. Put a 1 in the chat room if you guys watch
Abbott Elementary.
Hello? Oh, hey, Mr. Brown.
You know, I carry, right? And I don't go nowhere without it when I'm up in PA. They need to change the age. They really need to change the age. I mean, 18 years old, you can't even legally drink.
But you can go to the army. You can fight for the country. So,
but and then it's hard. You know, you talk about do stronger background checks, but somebody who's 18 years old, what kind of background check they're gonna have? They didn't do nothing yet.
Yeah,
they didn't live their life.
No.
You know?
No, absolutely. I mean, to be honest, I don't think none of that works. But at the end of the day, there are suggestions on the table, and nobody's even picking them up.
I think the next thing, what's crazy is that I have an AR-15. I have one too. But you know what? You can walk into a gun store. Shots. This is the crazy thing, and you can buy bullets, and they don't ask for no ID. They don't ask for nothing.
They don't really ask for ID when you buy guns. No, you don't need a gun license to buy a gun in Pennsylvania. Ammo. Yeah.
When you buy ammo, they don't ask for nothing. People from anybody can come in and buy ammo, and that's one of the crazy things. You know, a friend told me the other day that they saw a gentleman in CVS and he was carrying and he was getting antidepressant meds.
Oh wow,
that's scary. You know, I was in a flea market last week and this guy asked me. You know, he saw the gun on my side. And this is when it happened. The one that happened in Buffalo. And he asked me, he says, "Can I ask you a question?" This was a white guy. He asked me, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "If you was in that supermarket, what would you have done?" I said, "Well, when you carry the only thing you do is for your safety and for your family's safety who's with you. So it's my safety to get out of there. It's not my safety to be a hero. I'm sorry, because that could turn ugly for a lot of other people."
Right.
If I start shooting at him and he starts shooting at me and we hit other people, or the police come in and they kill me and him, you know?
Right.
But when you carry, like I'm from Brooklyn, and when I was in Brooklyn, yes, I was wild, I was crazy, I had a big temper and everything. But by me carrying, it did change my whole attitude. I had a situation. I was driving. I was on 611, and I did get in front of this guy. I was coming out. I got in front of the guy. He got mad. He was in a white pickup truck. He was beeping his horn. I looked in my rearview mirror. He's yelling and screaming, giving me the finger and everything. I'm like, oh boy. So I turned to Home Depot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I parked the car. He comes behind me. He doesn't park. So I said to myself, oh, this guy gonna be a problem. So I get out the car. He see the gun on my side. And he drives off. Right. Now, had he said something to me, I would have just said to him, "My bad, I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit there and argue with you. I'm not going to agitate the situation. I'm going to say, I'm sorry, my bad, and keep it moving."
Right.
You know, when you carry, you're not no bad man. You're not no, oh, I'm bad. No, I'm not taking nothing from nobody. No, it doesn't. You're not supposed to have that mindset.
Right.
Your mindset is to have safety.
So maybe education should go with people carrying guns. Yeah, you can carry a gun, but are you ready to deal with the effects of using the gun? What happens after mentally? So maybe an educational course should go with owning a gun and having a gun license. That could be one way to combat that.
Let me tell you this way. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just speculating a situation if you look back at those people that did what they did, and somebody knew something was wrong with that person.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, his
You just
grandma,
don't
he
go from
shot her.
happy, yay, what's up to that.
Yeah, for sure.
A friend or fam, somebody said this, something's off. And then, when you go into a store and you buy that kind of weapon, I mean, the person is also, why you need this for?
Right.
What are you doing? One of my friends, he got a good 10 guns. 3 assault rifles. And I said to him, why? He said, I just love that's my hobby.
Right.
Right.
I don't need all that, but a lot of people now have anger. They have so much anger.
Right.
So, and it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's scary.
No, absolutely. And I totally agree with you. I mean, again, anything is better than what they're currently doing now. So,
which is nothing.
Which
doing
is
nothing now.
I take another letter. Okay, let's say they tell everybody, all right, you got to turn in your guns. Right? You think this is going to stop people from getting guns?
Oh, no. There's always a back way. No,
because, back in the days and when I was in the hood, you had $350. You could have got your gun.
Right.
Right, of course. And it's always going to be that. But in most of these instances, they weren't going and getting it off the street. They went to the store where they could legally buy them, and they got them. So at the end of the day, if they have to go, I'd rather them go through the energy to get it on the black market and do what they have to do and have that type of money, because an 18-year-old kid is not going to come up with that type of money to do what they're doing out there. So, I mean, I definitely, as some, speaking for somebody that's gun owners, I appreciate your perspective on it. And I wish that everybody could be a responsible gun owner like yourself and many of our other listeners, if they do have them out there. We appreciate you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you for calling in.
Okay. So I think that is something that people definitely need to keep in mind. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, there is so many people that have so many different personality types, right? As well as resources being so low. If you see somebody that looks sad online or they're posting ominous stuff, there are people that do that every day and never do anything.
Right.
It's very hard for you to just say, oh, well, just put him somewhere. Where are you going to put him? Everybody that you think has a little off-color post, where are you going to put these people? Who, where is the manpower to do such things? And who's to judge? Maybe they're just expressing themselves. People have a freedom of speech. They can say whatever they want, that you may not like it, or you may think that that's offensive, or you could think that but it's just your thoughts. And we can call in and we can report. There's 300 million people in this world. I mean, in this country. A majority of them are online. So I don't know who's going to police that, or, how do you preemptively stop somebody from doing something just because they're posting the end is near every day on their Facebook? You can't, how do you do that? So, again, there's things in the books, there's things that politicians can do. Like I said, again, if you can tell a woman that you can't have a baby, you can access who has access to guns. If you want to go through the extra training, the extra thing, the extra resources to go through to be a gun owner, then go ahead and do that. But everyday average people, I don't think should have access to that type of power. Anything that is firing in rapid succession should not be available for general public use, period. I don't care what you say. I don't care what extracurricular sport you do and hunt. It don't matter. All right? Enough has happened. That enough is enough. Now it's over for you. So, I don't understand what part about that people don't understand, but they want it to continue. You want to keep your guns? Okay. Keep your head on swivel, because these shootings are going to keep happening. Yeah. Okay, so we are gonna take a break, right? Miss Miko, we're gonna have Miss Miko give you guys some tips about sleeping.
Because y'all can see your sister's
That's what Miss Miko coming here.
I need my own tips today.
She's gonna follow her own tips, and I was telling her, people, when you're working out and doing all this stuff, people say, what is it? Get sleep. You have to get 8 hours of sleep.
Your body.
And then I read other things that say you don't probably have to sleep that much. If you get 4 to 5 hours, it should be okay. But it is really important. I said I get my best sleep in like the day.
You did say that when you take your naps.
When I take naps, I sleep so much better than if I were to sleep at night. I don't know why that is, but go ahead, girl.
You did say that.
Go off. Maybe I'll find out what's going on.
So guys, in Miss Miko's tips today, we are going to talk about falling asleep and staying asleep. How to get 6 steps to get a good night's sleep. Now, the hardest part for falling asleep for me is actually going to sleep. I tend to overthink me going to sleep. Some people just kind of doze off. I don't. Am I on camera 3 or camera 2?
Yeah. Girl, I don't know which one's there. That one over there. 2.
So what I have to do is I have to listen to my body, and you should too. If your body tells you you're sleepy, I think it's a good idea. You should go to bed instead of going to bed and trying to fall asleep. Your body says it's time to close your eyes. Close your eyes and take that nap. Another thing that's a good step to take is keeping a regular sleep routine. Get on a schedule. If you go to bed at 10 o'clock every night and you wake up at 6, 7 in the morning, great. On the weekends, keep that routine as well, because a lack of sleep will have you groggy and grumpy and drowsy for no reason at all. So if you get on a regular sleep routine, I think that's something you should keep. Another thing is be mindful of how you're using your screens. Put down the phone. Put down the tablets. Cindy's like, yeah,
that's how I go to sleep.
And for adults, what you're watching or doing can affect your sleeping. According to Dr. Dirup, it's really about what you're doing on those devices. Anything that's activating your brain as you're trying to wind down can keep you going. So they said put devices away at least an hour or 2 before bed can help you start to ease into rest. However, if you are immersed in like late night scrolling, be mindful of what you're looking at. You can use your devices to actually promote sleep by listening to something relaxing. Like maybe, I think there's like a spa channel, or YouTube have like those, the
calming sounds.
Yeah, calming sound, listen to rain. That can help you sleep. Number 4 is reduce your stress. Stress is a major cause of delayed sleep. And I can attest to that. So how many times have you snuggled into bed only to lay awake for hours? Why? Because your brain is racing and you're thinking about everything you have to do for the next day. So try using some relaxation techniques to help you wind down. For example, studies have shown that mindfulness meditation can help improve sleep quality and decrease daytime disturbance in people with chronic insomnia. Different types of relaxation, such as progressive muscle relaxation and guided imagery, bring about a relaxed state of mind that is more conducive to falling asleep. That's interesting. Yeah. And some people, they even play like a steady soundtrack of noises to help them relax. So Senny, in your defense, that may be your Golden Girls in the background there.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to stop doing that.
That might help you relax.
Right. I'm going to try those nature sounds.
Yeah. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Another thing you can do is watch what you eat. Watching what you eat. Eating can affect how you sleep. Caffeine is found in coffee and chocolate. It's notorious for keeping you awake. So if you're going to do caffeine, you're going to do coffee, try to do it at least 5 to 7 hours before going to sleep. So early afternoon would be the best time to have your last cup of coffee or your last piece of chocolate. So that's good information.
Nothing in there about any weed in there?
Nope, we're talking about melatonin. Melatonin. So try melatonin. You're funny.
That is melatonin. Ain't nothing in there about weed. Nothing.
Melatonin is a light sensitive hormone produced by your brain's pineal gland. Darkness signals this gland to start producing melatonin, which causes production to cease. The result in melatonin controls your body's sleep-wake cycle. It said nothing about the ganja, Senny.
Please.
It said nothing about the ganja.
They don't know what they're talking about.
So that is Miss Miko's tips. That is some tips that I will take tonight to kind of ease myself into sleep. And by the way, I'm drowsy because I have severe allergies. I shared that with you guys last week. And I took a Benadryl like 2 in the morning. And you know, Benadryl makes you really, really drowsy. So I'm still kind of like working on fumes right now. So I'm going to go home and climb back into bed and go back to sleep. Hope you guys enjoyed my tips. I'll post them today in the group room.
Yes. Thank you so much for those tips, Miss Miko. I guess what I'm going to try and do is just stop napping and maybe I'll sleep better during the night. But usually when I'm tired, I usually go. And you know what? I used to think, I used to be like, oh, let me work out and then maybe, I'll get tired, like go for a walk or something. Mm-hmm. But usually after that, I have like a little burst of energy. I never used to believe people when they used to say, oh, if you work out, you'll get more energy, right? And then when I was on my thing and I was working out all the time, I was like, oh my gosh, they're so right. I do get a lot of energy. I don't even really be that tired. So, but doing those other things seem like it's good. So I will try doing some of that.
Yeah, try to wind down a little bit.
Time to wind down. And watching TV that is...
a little bit of background noise.
I try not to put it on that much, like the actual TV, because you know what happens too? I'll have it like on low and then I'll fall asleep to it. But then it's usually the thing that wakes me up. Because like something will happen on the TV or it'll be a loud noise. And I'll be like, what was that? And then I'm like, ugh. The TV, and then I can't get back to sleep, and then I get on my phone. I'm like, oh, let me check
the phone. Like the TikTok is addictive for me. Like if I wake up and I pull my phone out, that's it. I'm up all night. I get sucked in.
Right. It is. It's hard. Girl, people are answering to my little... I'm in a mom group, and I just gave my opinion on something, and these women are attacking me.
Senny is having a whole fight in her mom group, guys.
I don't care. I got you. I got time after 9, y'all. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I seen your messages, and let me...
Senny,
I'm coming
crazy.
For you in the bad mom group. I'm coming for you.
My God.
I see it,
like,
and I will answer.
Everything.
You know when they put over the paragraphs, I know you guys say don't bother it. But I just, because what they're saying, they're missing the point. So you know when you got to bring it back, that's how I'm about to do at 9. But it's fine. We gonna continue on with the show. I'm not gonna let these Facebook people mess up my day. Okay, going into news. Actually, this is something maybe a little light. A senior prank at a Texas high school gets out of hand, causes thousands in damages.
What?
An originally sanctioned senior prank at a Texas high school took a destructive turn this week, causing thousands of dollars in damages and forcing the school to cancel classes for the remainder of the year. The approved prank was organized by a small group of students at Frisco's Memorial High School and involved sticking Post-it notes all over the walls. But the stunt turned into a building-wide act of vandalism. The extent of the damage was enough that the high school canceled its last classes on Thursday and Friday as the campus was cleaned, cutting the year short for graduating seniors. School officials said they plan to make the students responsible pay for the mess. Damage is estimated in the thousands of dollars and includes paint on the walls, destruction of furniture, discharged fire extinguishers throughout the campus, and more. Every surface on the 300,000 square foot campus must be cleaned, including the walls, ceilings, and floors. Frisco Intermediate School District will hold the students responsible for costs associated with the cleanup. Staff had been at the school to monitor the prank, but once the situation got out of control, they called the police and the fire department. Video shared on social media shows plumes of white fog from fire extinguishers filling a vandalized cafeteria as other students filmed the chaos. No one was injured. The school is working with the police department to identify those involved. They could potentially face criminal charges. A senior at the school said, "It was another level of embarrassment for me because I was expecting just to go to the school the next day and sticky notes be everywhere." She said she's disappointed that she won't get to see her favorite teachers in the building as a student again. The high school's graduation ceremony is scheduled for tomorrow, I believe, and is expected to carry on as planned. Whoa. That's pretty intense. It seems like these kids went crazy.
They went too far. They doing what kids do.
That's cute though. That's a
Yeah.
funny prank. Did your high school ever do a senior prank?
We did the toilet paper. We toilet papered the tree in front of the high school.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
nice.
I went to John Dewey High School in Coney Island, Brooklyn.
Okay.
And it was like a campus, and that was our prank.
We had a prank. I don't know. Nobody ever told me if it was real or it was a prank. It was over at the Stroudsburg high school that we had went to, and supposedly they had 3 pigs, and they had 2 pigs.
You had pigs in school, Senny?
They had pigs that they let loose, and it had they were numbered 1 and 3. So it was like, where's the second one? Is there a second one? So that was pretty intense. But yeah, I think pranks should be funny. I don't know if they're still doing that. Does anybody have senior kids that know if they did a prank?
I know in Easton they do, but it's not a prank. They kind of protect the wood at what is it, Thanksgiving game, the homecoming game. They would sleep out in the yard to protect the wood.
But in case somebody came and caught it.
Yeah, because the rival is Phillipsburg High School, so they would come and take their wood for the bonfire. I don't know if that's a prank, but that's been going on for years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, definitely a tradition that they hold dear. So shout out to them for that. And well, I mean, I guess the kids had fun. You know, people don't like vandalism, but that might be kind of fun. For y'all out there in the dating world, listen, I got some tips on how to spot monkeypox in a potential sexual partner. Cases are spreading, okay? And people just want you to be on alert. Scientists are investigating an unusual amount of monkeypox cases in Europe and North America. Cases of monkeypox outside of Western and Central Africa are rare, so this outbreak is very abnormal. Now, monkeypox is not a sexually transmitted disease, but scientists are trying to figure out whether people could have gotten the disease during sex, as many cases are occurring within quote-unquote sexual networks.
Always something.
Oh, sexual networks. Sounds like something to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
A World Health Organization official said last week that summer festivals and other events could further spread the disease. With mass gatherings, festivals, and parties, I am concerned that transmission could accelerate, as the cases currently being detected are among those engaging in sexual activity, and the symptoms are unfamiliar to many. Okay, so it's going to start out like the flu. Fever, headache, muscle aches, backache, swollen lymph nodes, chills, exhaustion. Definitely just like how all these other things start out. You want to look for a rash, especially around the groin. So if you can,
supposed to be looking for that anyway, ladies.
be aware. Okay, that's not a birthmark.
You gotta look at it, ladies. You gotta inspect it.
Or men, look at these women. Okay,
Yes.
a rash. This is the time monkeypox spreads most easily. There are signs that this outbreak features an unusually high number of rashes around sexual organs. The monkeypox virus can be passed either by direct contact with the rash or body fluids, or by touching material that touched the infected person, such as linen or clothing. Mm-hmm. The rash is incredibly infectious. So just look at that. And the rash goes through different stages. At first, it can look like chicken pox before it starts forming a scab and different things like that. So it typically tends to break out on the face, hands, and feet. But however, in this outbreak, authorities have reported some cases have had rashes located in the groin area. So look out for that. While officials are still working to figure out exactly how the virus is being passed on this outbreak, we know that close contact is a major factor in transmissions. And then, of course, they say don't panic. Like, this is something that can be
I'm panicking.
cured.
I'm panicking.
After a couple of weeks, it's going to subside and you'll be fine again. However, you might have residual scars and stuff like that. So it seems like people that are engaged, well, we're still coming out of COVID. So people, it still just might be too soon to get close with people. Just
have you seen the monkeypox? Like, it's like boils. Like, oh no.
I've seen it.
No,
I mean, I guess you would know if somebody had it if you got to that stage. You see they got boils and stuff on their hand. But prior to that, just, keep an eye out. It's getting people through close contact. And then, sometimes people don't really look at everybody's look at you top to bottom. So people if you notice you're getting a little rash, just stay away from people.
Not with the rash. If you're itchy down there and stinky,
or if you notice something new pop up, just keep it to yourself. It should go away in a couple of weeks.
Keep it to yourself.
Should go away in a couple.
Stay away from your partners.
It'll go in a few weeks. Oh, look, I'm trying to get the bird again.
Oh, I see that. Oh, wow.
There's more food going on.
And they're oh my God, I've never seen that before. That's cool.
Right? Well,
you see their little mouth opening and taking the worms.
Well, I miss it. I can never, because she comes back with the worms in her mouth already.
And their mouth is already open.
Like they know that she's coming. Put a pause on mouth already open. But
put a pause on it.
I'm just like a baby bird. No. Oh. Okay, so this story was really disturbing to me. Kind of gross. But an Indiana pastor admits an affair with a 16-year-old.
Gross.
And their congregation demands the truth. Pastor John Lowe of the New Life Christian Church in Warsaw, Indiana, stood in front of his church Sunday to reveal he was stepping down after confessing to cheating on his wife with one other person many years ago. Lowe was met with forgiveness and applause, I guess, for being a stand-up guy for saying that you cheated on your wife.
Whole pedophile over there.
But then a woman and her husband walked up to the altar and addressed the congregation. They ran up on the stage.
Yeah.
The woman revealed she was the one Lowe cheated with, but claims she was just 16 at the time when this pastor had sex with her on his church office floor, taking her virginity.
And she went up there with her husband.
The age of consent in Indiana is 16. The stunned congregation looked on as the woman continued, saying the affair went on for 9 years and pleading for Pastor Lowe to tell the truth. Once the woman and her husband left the stage, people in the audience began to shout at Lowe to tell the truth, and he ultimately fessed up, saying the woman was, in fact, only 16 when he did have an affair with her. A local report says the county prosecutor has opened up an investigation.
Absolutely.
Into the matter.
Did the statute of limitations pass in Indiana? Do you know?
Who knows? And how old are you, ma'am, with your husband?
With your whole husband up
and
there.
Now, well, I mean, speak your truth. I mean, definitely get it out there. But you still going to this church? Like, wait, I'm all the way confused.
Wow.
Did you know that he was going to do this revelation, or were y'all sitting in the church the whole time? Because now I want to know if you were going with this church, if you were going to this church to the same pastor that, I mean, and I know that is like part of like victim syndrome and all that, but she don't seem like she was a victim no more. Like she seemed like she was well aware.
It's like, I took it. I got some.
And she's healed, or in the healing process, like, why is she still going to this church? I have questions. Anybody from Warsaw, Indiana that can call in or give me more background on this? Because, girl, and then you came up there with your husband? Your husband didn't swing off on him? Like, I don't know.
That's crazy.
See what happens in middle America? Listen. And listen, Indiana, have you guys seen that documentary, Our Father?
No.
Girl, you have to watch it. It is on. Is it on Netflix?
Is Indiana a hot mess?
Listen, there is this town in Indiana, okay, where this doctor, his name was Dr. Klein, Dr. Donald Klein, I think. Okay, put his name out there. Google him. He looks like Santa Claus. He from the 80s. He was inseminating women with his own sperm. Women that were looking for artificial insemination.
Yuck.
Well, no. I'm sorry. Not in vitro.
In vitro.
Because a lot of them came with their husbands. Like, a lot of them, were trying to, because, now we're thinking like back in the day. They did. The one nurse that used to work with him, I'm not going to tell it all. She said that they used to, how people have like books and files they can pull from now to say what kind of donor they want. She said they used to use a handwritten notebook with people. So this doctor, so he was using his sperm in all of these women. Now, by fertility doctors, like, own thing, like, it's just science. When you're in a certain amount, or common sense, if you're in a certain area and you have all these people coming from a certain area, you don't want to use a certain donor too many times, because you're going to potentially have half sisters and brothers and all that going on. This man, these people found out they have over 90 siblings, and they all live in this area or the outskirts of this area.
Oh my.
So Indiana, listen, y'all got some stuff going on over there, and now the pastor is sleeping with little girls. She's still going to the church. Somebody needs to go into Indiana.
Somebody check on Indiana.
If you are from Indiana, call in, because I just want to know, is it all right? Okay.
Right.
Now, a lot of this is Babylonians, but hey, I just somebody. The Attorney General, the White House, I know we got a lot of other things going on, but somebody needs to go into Indiana, because they doing stuff over there. And I feel and I feel for people that go through in vitro fertilization and all that other kind of stuff. That is definitely an industry that needs to be regulated. So people, I don't know who's in charge of that, but y'all need to get it together.
Pull it together.
Yes. So that is what I have with the news. I'm going to end on that. And Miss Miko is going to have she gives us a little Throwback Thursday. Are y'all liking this day back whenever? It could be 2 years ago. It could be last week. It could be 50 years ago.
Yeah. Put another one in the chat room if you liking our show today.
Yes.
It's the Thursday takeover.
And share it, and say how great the show was today. Tell a friend.
Yeah. So today we are going to leave with our Throwback Thursday. I have 2 really good Throwback Thursday facts.
Okay.
The first one is May 26, 1977. The movie Star Wars debuted. Did you guys know that?
What?
Are there any what is it? Trekkies? Is that what they call them? Trekkies?
No, that's for Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
Star Wars
is real. You can
what
tell
do they call Star
movies. Wars
people? I don't know what they call them.
Starsies? I don't know. But
I don't think they have a name.
So Star Wars debuted May 26, 1977. And on May 26, 1999, which is my daughter's birthday, Slick Rick released his 4th album entitled The Art of Storytelling. So all my real hip-hop heads, you know what it is.
Thank you.
And that is this day in history.
Thank you, Miss Miko. That is awesome.
You're welcome.
Well, there you guys have it. We truly appreciate you guys for rocking with us today. Stay updated with us. Like we said, share. I might not be here tomorrow, but Shawn and Miss Miko will definitely be here holding you guys down. We appreciate you guys spending time with us today. And we'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See you. Thank you for being here. Only say nice things when you share the show. And again, watch that documentary, and somebody check on Indiana.
And
ASAP.
somebody check on Mr. Priscilli.
And Jason Priscilli.
We got to find Jason Priscilli.
We got things to do this weekend.
Bye, guys.